As Michael said there, we've got volumes back, but volatility has joined in at this point. What are your thoughts as to what was behind today's sell-off?
We've seen a huge jump in terms of volatility, and I guess in comparison to what we've seen while the Australian market's been closed, we haven't fared too badly today. The US stock market over the last couple of sessions has actually lost 2.6%. So the Australian market in comparison down by 1.3% today. I think there are a number of factors. We are watching the FOMC and potential continuation of tapering, but also in terms of the US, I think there's a view that the earnings that we are seeing this earnings season isn't really enough to support valuations over in the US. And of course, in this region as well, there were jitters over China, in particular ICBC and the China Credit Trust. Last week, investors were thinking they were going to lose all their money. Now it looks like they'll be able to retain that principle. So that managed to calm the markets over in China and around the region, and I think that was important. Here domestically, of course, we saw business confidence, and that was a big number for the month of December, the highest that we've seen it in 2.5 years. And I think coming back from the long weekend, it's been a very busy day. JB Hi-Fi doing well and coming up with an update. We've heard from Boral today. We've also heard from Treasury Wine Estates going into a trading halt, expectations of a downgrade there. McPherson's coming out with a downgrade. AJ Lucas, its CEO, resigning quite surprisingly, and Oil Search coming out with a production upgrade. So lots to absorb on the market, but all in all, I don't think the Australian market fared too badly given what we saw in terms of the US market performance while we were closed. I think we just saw a calming of the nerves after the performance of markets over the last few sessions.
Now for her thoughts on Boral, and the weather has actually given this stock a bit of a helping hand.
I think there was a bit of confusion over Boral's update today because they came out to say, the first half is going to be great and the second half it looks like it's going to be weak. So initially we did see an uplift in terms of the shares, but by the end of the session down by 0.1%. And in the first half, Boral coming out to say that they expect a $90 million profit result. Now, that's quite substantially above market consensus of $75 million. So that's a huge positive. And really, construction conditions have been good. The weather's helped to bring some of the projects forward. And that means that in the second half, we're going to see some big projects rolling over. And some of the projects that were due in the second half, they've been brought forward to the first half. So there is a timing aspect to the announcement today. Secondly, in the first half, we've seen a rebound in terms of product sales. But in the second half, the sale of the gypsum stake will take effect. So that's going to have an impact in terms of sales for the second half. So all in all, Boral's announcement, I think the market initially reacted very positively to that first half update. But just that uncertainty over the second half did bring a bit of volatility in terms of the shares. So initially a positive performance, but by the end of the session it was down.
Your thoughts on Oil Search and those production numbers today? What's your read on that stock?
I think a great set of numbers coming out from Oil Search, and as that Papua New Guinea project, the liquefied natural gas project, nears completion, the risks for this huge project are declining as well, and I think that's a big reason why we saw a vote of confidence behind the Oil Search shares. The Papua New Guinean government is probably the biggest risk for this stock at the moment. There has been some speculation that we could see France's Total coming in to help the Papua New Guinea government out by buying up a stake of this project, but the fact that this project is more than 90% complete, looks like it's on time, looks like it's on budget, means that we're going to see a huge spike in terms of Oil Search's production. Now the production upgrade really comes not because of the Papua New Guinea project that we've seen, but the other oil fields that Oil Search has in Papua New Guinea. So a great result today and a great performance by the share price, up by 2% in a market that was substantially low.